From timidity to alpha female. Ladies and gentlemen, sisters, daughters, leaders in the making, good day. Today I stand before women who may look calm on the outside but are carrying storms of dreams, fears, expectations, and possibilities on the inside. Some of you sitting here today have been called too quiet. Some of you have been told you are too shy. Some of you have heard statements like, "Why are you always so reserved? Speak up. You are too timid." And slowly, without realizing it, those words begin to shape how you see yourself. You begin to shrink. You begin to doubt your voice. You begin to sit at the back of rooms when your destiny requires you to stand at the front. But today, we are changing that narrative. Today's message is simple but powerful. You can move from timidity to becoming an alpha female. Yes, you. Not the loudest woman in the room. Not the richest woman in the room. Not the most famous woman in the room. But the woman who knows her worth, stands in her power, and walks boldly in her purpose. Understanding timidity. Before we talk about becoming an alpha female, we must understand timidity. Timidity is not weakness. Let me say that again. Timidity is not weakness. Many timid women are actually some of the most intelligent, thoughtful, and observant people in any room. Timidity is often born from experiences. Perhaps you grew up in an environment where children were told to keep quiet. Perhaps you were corrected harshly when you spoke up. Perhaps you were bullied. Perhaps you were overlooked. Perhaps you were told you were just a girl, and slowly, quietly, without anyone noticing, a confident voice became a silent whisper. But listen carefully. Your voice was never lost. It was only buried. And buried things can be unearthed. Greatness can be rediscovered. Confidence can be rebuilt. The myth of the alpha female. Now, when many people hear the phrase alpha female, they imagine something intimidating. They imagine a woman who dominates, a woman who controls, a woman who competes aggressively with everyone around her. But that is not the true alpha female. The true alpha female is a woman who knows herself, a woman who respects herself, a woman who refuses to shrink to make others comfortable. She is calm but powerful, kind but firm, compassionate but confident. An alpha female does not need to shout to be heard. Her presence alone commands respect. Why? Because she has mastered the most powerful thing in the world, self-belief. The silent battle of timid women. Many timid women live two lives, the outer life and the inner life. On the outside, they appear quiet, reserved, and careful. But on the inside, there are ideas, there are visions, there are dreams screaming for expression. A timid woman might sit in a meeting with a brilliant idea, but someone else speaks first, and suddenly the room celebrates that idea. And she whispers to herself, "That was what I wanted to say." Have you ever experienced that moment? Of course you have. Many brilliant women have lived in that quiet frustration. But today I want to tell you something important. The world cannot benefit from the gifts you keep hidden. Your ideas matter. Your voice matters. Your presence matters. And it is time to step forward. The awakening moment. Every transformation begins with an awakening. A moment where you say, "Enough is enough." A moment where you decide, "I refuse to live a small life." A moment where you realize, "I was created for more." For some women, that awakening happens after heartbreak. For some, it happens after failure. For others, it happens after being underestimated one too many times. And suddenly something inside says, "No more hiding. No more shrinking. No more apologizing for existing." That moment, my sisters, is the beginning of the alpha female. Confidence is built, not born. Let me share a truth many people do not tell you. Confidence is not something you are born with. Confidence is something you build, brick by brick, step by step, experience by experience. Even the most confident women you admire today once had moments of doubt. They had moments of fear, moments where their voice shook, moments where they wondered if they were good enough. But they kept moving forward anyway. And that is the secret. Confidence is not the absence of fear. Confidence is acting despite fear. You cannot become an alpha female if you are constantly fighting yourself. Many women spend years wishing they were someone else. I wish I was more outspoken. I wish I was more beautiful. I wish I was more confident. But transformation begins with acceptance. Accept who you are today. Your personality. Your journey. Your experiences. Your strengths. Your imperfections. Because the alpha female does not chase perfection. She embraces authenticity. Stop seeking permission. One of the greatest barriers timid women face is the habit of seeking permission. Permission to speak. Permission to lead. Permission to dream. Permission to succeed. But here is the truth. The world rarely hands out permission slips for greatness. If you wait for everyone to approve your dreams, you will wait forever. Alpha females do not wait for approval. They step forward boldly. They create opportunities. They open doors. Your voice is your power. Your voice is more than sound. Your voice is influence. Your voice is leadership. Your voice is identity. Your voice is power. Every great movement in history started with someone speaking up. Imagine if those voices had remained silent. Imagine if they allowed timidity to silence their purpose. The world would be very different today. And perhaps, the impact you are meant to create would remain undone. So speak, share, express, lead. Courage is a muscle. Courage is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. The first time you speak up, your heart may race. The second time, your voice may tremble. The third time, you might hesitate. But by the 10th time, you will realize something amazing. Fear has lost its power over you. And suddenly the timid girl who once avoided attention begins to command rooms. That is transformation. That is growth. That is the birth of the alpha female. The power of identity. Who you believe you are determines how you behave. If you believe you are shy and incapable, you will behave shy and incapable. But if you begin to see yourself differently, everything changes. Start seeing yourself as a leader. Start seeing yourself as capable. Start seeing yourself as powerful. Because identity shapes destiny. Final words for this section. My sisters, you were never created to live a life of fear. You were never designed to shrink in rooms where your voice belongs. You were never meant to sit quietly while destiny waits for you to rise. The journey from timidity to alpha female is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming who you are always meant to be. And that journey starts today.